Hello everyone and welcome. It's Shanna. So glad you're here today. Now today is the day I've been promising. We're going to take a look at my craft room and see the changes that I've made. I'm going to walk through everything, but I always start out kind of here. This is my great room and it leads into my craft room, which is right through the double doors. So I'm going to flip the camera around and we're going to look at the craft room and see all the changes that I've made, and I'll pretty much show you everything I think. And so follow along. I hope you enjoy it. Okay, so I've kind of backed into my great room a little bit just to kind of show you the entrance into my craft room and kind of how you can see it through my great room. And so I'm just kind of got some family pictures up there. And then this is how you enter into my craft room. And I'm trying to go nice and slow. And you can see that it is very snowy out. This is that great big snowstorm that we had for January 26th, 2026, and it's still snowing out. I'm not sure you can tell, but we've got plenty of snow. There's our grill covered, and it is coming down lightly. Normally I have, my curtains closed just to kind of help keep it warm in here, but today I wanted the light and I wanted to just kind of show you the outside. So up here on top of this bookcase, I've got my sewing machine. I've actually got the paint and the paintbrush. I just painted this room and I used, it was called Pink Cashmere. It looks like I need to paint the trim. But anyway, I gave it a facelift and I've got some Windex, and then all of my blending brushes are on the different little brush containers, and I've got my little mini press there. And so on the top shelf, I've got all of my sprays, my paints, my stickles, my embossing powders. I've got a couple of Nana cups that I've gotten from the grandkids and just some miscellaneous stuff. Then here is the start of my Copic collection. I've just gotten started on it, so you can see I don't have a lot. And I've got some colored pencils here. This is some airy metallic mousse from Cat Scrappiness on that top there. And then my Cricut markers and my Tri-Blend markers and just some other older markers that I put the rest of them away. I don't know why I didn't put those away. I've also got some, these are Altenew artistry markers. I've got 5 packs of those, my personalized stamp, and I always keep that lint roller to pick up die cut pieces and stuff. Anyway, and then in here I've got my Gina K product, don't have a lot of it, and then I've got things from Kendra's Card Challenge in there. This particular thing here is really handy. This is your Love from Lizzie pill-off holders, and I've got a bunch of them. You can see it's full. I've got some that I need to get back in there. Let's see if I can get it back in there. I need to package. I need to pull these out and get them inside of that, but it's a real nice holder for that. And then I've got a sewing bin. I've got a paint bin. I have 2 empty boxes there. I've got my Love from Lizzie, and then I've got my wax seal and staple gun in that box there. And then down low, let's see if we can get down there, I have got a not too shabby card kit. I've got some press and seal. And then those are the stack and store, I forget what they're called, stash and stack or something from Spellbinders. And I've got 12 by 12 pattern paper in there. And then I've got the 8.5/11 that contains my Spellbinders cardstock that I have not cut yet. So it's down there. And so that is what all of that is. So we're just gonna come up and make a little turn. And you can see the paint on the wall. I had more of a muted paint on there. It was kind of just more of a white that just had a tinge of color to it. And now I've got this kind of more pink. And it still goes nicely with the pill and stick pattern wallpaper that I've got up there. And you can see I've got a plant hanging, but this is how I video. This is just a claw that hangs over my desk that I stick my phone on. And I just video on it. And I've got this Flexi Spot desk that you can raise and lower, and I use it, and I have the Glassboard Studio glass mat and the magnets. I just have, this is everything I use pretty regularly. I recently brought Kleenexes in. There's actually a Kleenex box right outside this door, and I up to this point didn't have them in there. I was like, I've been needing them, so I just brought them in. I've got all my twine here. We've got a couple different things to glue with my glue gun, and then this is all my bits and pieces that I need regularly. Of course, my mouse pad. This is a little press tool that I had made, and then this is a little coaster that my sister gave me, and then I just keep my laptop and my iPad on there. I don't know what's on my laptop, but anyway. And then, so I'll roll back and kind of show you. I've just got a couple things underneath the desk. Try to keep it real clean. This is my felt. This is my splatter box, and I've got 2 photo albums in there that I want to do. I need to start working on for my grandsons. I need to get started on that. I want to do all 5 of my grandkids, and there's some contact paper, and I'll show you why I have that in my trash can. Anyway, here's my desk, and you can just raise and lower it to whatever, however you want it, and I love that. So I can stand up. Something just fell. And then over here, I've got this. I don't have it turned on, but it's just a little fragrance thing. My desk sweeper, just a plant. Of course, I've got the Spell Binders spray bottle, some hand lotion, some extra trays. This is a die. I sent this die set to Jay, and I couldn't find this one, and when I was cleaning, I found it. So I need to get that sent to Jay. And I've got just my embellishments and some sticky foam squares and stuff like that in there that I can grab. Of course, I've got my Empress here, and I've got the regular plates underneath it, and then the bigger plates are actually underneath in this cabinet here. I've got the great big ones there. So, and then I've got both my Scout and my Platinum 6 on here, and here's my view. That's my little swing. We've got a little fire pit out there in the summer, but that is my view. I've got windows. Let me just show you. We've got the door, and then I have windows. I need to back up a little bit all the way around. So, and I've had those Govee lights up there around my windows forever. But this here actually has all of my, this is just a place that I have always stored all my glimmer foil, and it's all in there, and I've got tons of it. Actually more than I have room to store. Could put a little one there if it would fit, but I'm in my plates. So now this, I'm gonna sit down here, and I had this cabinet. I've had it all along. I just recently got this one and added to it so that I could put my my glimmer machine, my press plate. I've got 2 12x12s that have, one of them has patterned paper, the other one has all of my Distress Oxide inks, and I've got some new product in, a new Love from Lizzie kit and a new Not Too Shabby that I'm working with. And then I have a guillotine, a planner, and a big scoreboard underneath there. And here I've got my Misty and my Score Pal, and these are A2 side card bases, side folding and top folding, and they're ready to go. And then in here I have got the Better Press inks. I've got my embossing tool, some embossing powders, and some Lysol wipes. Now this drawer is not being used very efficiently, but I've got like my plates and my card sketches and my Scout plates and an empty bucket that I don't know what to do with. That's what's in there. And then here's like my junk drawer, just all of my junk. And then this, I have some more of the blending brush holders or paintbrush holders or whatever, a lighter. I've got this tool here that you can pick up when you drop your dies behind your desk or whatever, you can extend it, and it's magnetized and it'll pick them up. Of course, this is the stamped chamois holder. These are my business cards for when we're doing like a card show or something, and some hair ties or whatever. Anyway, and then down in here, this is the adhesive. This has got all of my foams and double-sided and mint green tape and regular tape, and there's some washi tape and some glue and some sticky notepads. This is vinyl. This is the removable vinyl, and then this is the HTV is what this is. And this is the little thing that you weed your vinyl. When you're weeding your vinyl, you can put it in there and collect all the bits. So that's what's in there. And then I've got my craft cart here. I'm gonna back up a little bit, trying to give you a view of that. And then in the craft cart on top, I've just got, this is where, actually this little thing here is from Blossom. I'm using it to plan out what my videos are, and then this is where I take my pictures. I have just got it sitting on top of that. Underneath there, these are projects that are ready to go. That is Pink and Main, and the stuff on the bottom is foiling that you would use the fuse machine with, is what that is. And then these little things, I've got sentiments that are already prepared. This is birthday. I don't know what this is. This is miscellaneous. And then there's another one. And then I've got alcohol, vinegar, and water in those. And then I've got a bunch of blending brushes there. This is really just miscellaneous stuff. I mean, there's some props for taking pictures, and then my heater, because this is an add-on, we needed to add heater. Now all of this is new. All of these cabinets are new. That's what I just recently put in. I got rid of all the cube units and I put that in. I'm gonna back up, see if we can pan around here a little bit. And it gave me, I just feel like it's so much more spacious. I got rid of all those cube units and I've got a lot of countertop. I have 2 units. There's 1 and then 2. And then this third piece I found that would kind of fit in there, that kind of matched it. We're gonna do some tweaking to it to make it more custom. So let's just start going through them. And we'll just open up the doors and you can look in and see what I've got. So in this one, I have got all of my envelopes. This is my cardstock, my white cardstock, my black cardstock. And in there is just other colored cardstock that is not premium. And then down here is, I put all of my Spellbinders dies on the bottom, so you're gonna see them all across these drawers. But that is one of my containers with it in there. And I'm sorry about the heater, I'm right on top of it. And then in this drawer, we've got, well, these are photo props. I've got all my Cricut stuff because my Cricut is right here. So I have all my Cricut stuff. I've got some towels that I use, my label maker, and a rubber mat, and then my Cricut brayer thing. Anyway, then my fuse is here. And then below here is where I have, I'm gonna back up so that maybe the heater's not so loud. Various paper pads. I've got Not Too Shabby. I've got cardstock that is not Spellbinders, and then this one over here is Spellbinders. And then down here is my nested dies that I use regularly. We've got unreleased product from Spellbinders. This is packaging, magnetics, and sheets and stuff to put everything in when I start working with the newly released. And then that one is just miscellaneous companies that are not Spellbinders. I did get rid of a lot, but I do have some that I wanted to hang on to. You saw some May in there, and there were also some Pink Fresh Studio. And then in here, it looks like I've got an extra bin that I just dumped some stuff in. That is the advent calendar from this year. All of those were in there. And then it looks like some card bases I need to move. I did, and then some more Spellbinders. And I've got it labeled. We've got birdhouses and critters and frames and florals and that, but I have them all kind of labeled in different areas so that I can easily find them. So there's that. I'm gonna back up. In the next one, I've got an additional Scout. This was one that I had an issue with and they replaced it for me, but I held on to it in case I needed any parts off of it. And then these are embossing folders. I've got 3D embossing folders, and I've got 25, 24, and I think I got rid of 23. And I'm starting on 26 there in front. I need to make a label for. And then my Crocodile, I've got that down there. And then this is an exercise, so then just kind of moving along. This is the card I made the other day that I said I was going to frame, and I think it looks really pretty. And then this just has miscellaneous stuff in it. Here's all of my Fergus, and then my little YouTube thing. There's some of those small envelopes that I used. These are some stamp abilities, ink pads. Those are some little metal cup hooks. That says foam tape. It basically is foam dots is what's in there. And I looked in there earlier and I was like, oh, I needed those. I didn't know I had them. So now I know they're in there. Just need to relabel. This is a refill for my labeler and some little clothespins and some jump rings. I've got just regular Scotch tape, beads, tags, more beads, and some more little clothespins. And then a couple cards that I made there. And then these are like recent cards. I've just been plopping them in there. I've taken all the other cards out of here. Here's another recent one. Anyway, so let's see. We looked at this, didn't we? Yes, we did. Okay, so let's look in this drawer here. And this is kind of the tool drawer. I've got another ring light that I don't use. My hot glue gun is in there, my glue sticks. I've got these that you would label everything with. And then I've just got some bins in there that's got some little, these are just little, these are from the bracelet set from Spellbinders, and it's got a bunch of the little individual bead letters in there. Got 2 of those. Tools, and then that's a 3-hole punch that's in there. I don't think I've ever gone through all of my drawers on a craft room video. But in here, the one that says beads is really embellishments. And I did that last night. I bought this for them and didn't have near enough, so I just piled the rest in that bin there. And I will tell you, emptying all the little bags into the little container makes a big mess. I had beads and sequins and everything all over the place. Down here I've got ribbon, and down there are better press plates, and I just have 2 rows of them that are all positioned in that, and that's what's in there. This says mug rugs. It's got mug rugs, and it has the materials that you make mug rugs with. And then this is iron-on blanks, because I do some iron-on with some HTV in that, and I've got another doily on there. I use those for picture taking. I'm sure you've seen my pictures with it. And I see some couple beads down there on the floor. So the next cabinet, we'll go through it. It's got wood blanks, and it has Christmas products in there. It's also got a magnetic board that houses lost dies. There are several lost dies on there that I just need to figure out where they go. And then this is the little piece that I ordered that was separate. I've got some washi tape, and then the plug for this little lamp here. This little lamp's cute. It just is a little touch lamp. It doesn't have a cord. You can plug it in and charge it, and it'll work there. I got this shell on our beach vacation last year, and I'm excited about it. These are some things my friends have given me. Delise, Jana, this one is from Amy. I think that one was from Jana as well. And then my little guitar. This has picks in it. This is the little guitar I made, and there's another one that I made. Anyway, and then down here, I've got cat scrappiness and tools, more tools. Now what's gonna happen with this is my son-in-law is gonna put a white piece along the bottom so that it'll match up, and he's gonna redo the top of this. I've got some contact paper. That's what the contact paper is for. This one came in white. He's gonna redo the top on this and make it butt up against here, and we'll have the top to match. So he's gonna custom that for me. I was gonna wait and get that done, and I thought, no, I'll just go ahead and get it done. So hold on, and I'll do a quick pan around. Okay, so there's my Spellbinders apron and my die cutting superpower bag that I got from Spellbinders. And then this rug I love. It just covers up the fact that we have a door. Here I've got my guitar and my just my Fender amp and my Spark amp. That one runs with an app, and you can play along with music. It's just an extra amp. And then that little rug, one of my past co-workers made that for me. Love it. Anyway, so we've got that. We've got acoustic guitar there, and some headphones and some cords and stuff. I've got a lug and a ukulele, and all of my music. That wall is all my music wall, and I love it. And I'm trying to get back far enough to just kind of show you the wall of shelves, and I'm not doing a very good job. I'm kind of moving around here, but I think it looks nice. They were inexpensive. I'll try to link them. There's a Melton Dulcimer that's hanging up there, and then I didn't show you this. This I just made a little banner, and it's got all my little, I don't know if we can see it with the light the way it is. Let's close this real quick. There we go. And we've got the, I don't know, is that the hen, the reindeer, the fox that I made, and I think it's super cute. And then of course we have my heater. I'm trying to just back up so you can kind of see. I'm going to open that back up, bring in some more light, because I don't have any other light on. Of course, it's still just snowing away out there. So there is my craft cart, and then my side table, and then this is where I work. And you can see my little claw. You don't have to have big, expensive equipment to start a YouTube channel and to make videos. All you need is your phone and a way to hang it, and there you go. So there is my craft room. I hope you like it. It's small, it's about 10 by 11, and it's not a large space, but it's well organized, and I think it looks nice. And I just realized I've made this and the washer is running in the background, so hopefully you don't hear all that noise. So hopefully I won't have to start over. Anyway, this is my crafty space. I hope you like it. If you do, consider giving a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, I do videos every day. So click the notification bell and you'll be able to see my videos. Have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.